Sometimes we have gloomy days. We wake up and we don't feel well, or the day may start well, but then something happens and we don't feel well. It may feel like everything is falling apart or nothing comes together. It could be little things, big things. And sometimes one day becomes a few gloomy days. And it's super easy to fall into feeling disappointed, frustrated, angry, sad, even depressed. And in this video, I will guide you through a few steps that will help you navigate this kind of gloomy days, and also to help you understand why it is important for us to do that. The very first thing is to remember that nothing in nature is a straight line. It is always a curve. It is always contraction and expansion. We go through sunny days to thunder days to very peaceful days. The waves are coming in and out. The tide is low and high. Our heart is contracting and expanding. So in nature, there's always movement, whether it's up and down or small and expanded. And very similarly, we go through these periods of time. Sometimes they are associated with specific weather or events in nature, such as full moon, new moon. It can also fluctuate with seasons. But the most important thing here is for us to learn how to navigate this downturns or the lower side of the curve, the contracted phase, so that we can get back to the expanded phase and to the upper side of the curve. Why is this important? There are two things. Well, first, if we stay on the lower side of the curve for too long, it's actually unnatural for us to stay there for too long if we lean into nature. So if we're staying in the lower side of the curve for too long, that means we are suppressing ourselves with parts of us, or parts of us are suppressing ourselves and are not letting us to come out of this curve. And the more we stay there, the harder it is for us to get back on track. And also we begin to attract the things to us that are a match to that vibrational frequency or that state of being that we have on the inside. So we may experience gloomy events, continuous gloomy events around us. And the second thing here is to really lean into this. When we are in the lower side of the curve, it could be a short period of time, it could be a longer period of time. If we lean in, then we can really catch that moment when we are just beginning to come out of the curve. This is where the biggest growth potential is. Coming out of the lower side of the curve and up. This is where the shift is. This is where you can leap into that next level version of you, or to that next level of experience in your life, whatever it is. Just remember that everything begins from the inside, so it is always that next level version of you. And in order for us to really catch this part on the lower side of the curve, we need to lean in and listen and be ready for that shift to open. So here is what we need to do to be ready and to lean in and not to get stuck in that lower side of the curve. First of all, you would want to listen how we feel and embrace how we feel. Take a moment to pause and listen how you feel. It may be like you're totally wobbly or totally off-centered or out of yourself. Don't feel like yourself at all. Maybe you're all over the place. So whichever way you feel, you want to embrace it and hold yourself in that space. Embrace all of those feelings and give them a hug. Listen to how you feel. The next step from that is to come into neutral. Sometimes we can't just go from feeling low to feeling high. We don't have to do that. We don't have to force ourselves to go into feeling high vibe again. The most important thing for us is to come into neutral. Neutral is just being content, being okay with this lower side of the curve, and feeling calm and feeling at peace, trusting that we will come out of this curve. So just kind of gliding through, allowing yourself just to be in that space, just to be. And for us to move from thoughts and feelings of disappointment, self-criticism, self-diminishment, unhappiness, perhaps even self-blame or blaming others, judgment, self-judgment or judging others, just being unhappy, being just not well. So we want to get from that place of feeling very low with those lower frequency emotions to neutral. And how we do that is by taking a deep breath in, right into the belly and right into the heart. And breathing out. That's the very first step, just to begin with very slow breaths. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. If you feel very preoccupied with your thoughts, you can take a deep breath right into your headspace through the nose, as if the wind is blowing through your headspace, clearing things out, just releasing some of that pressure and tension, and breathe out. Beautiful. The very first step. A few other things that you can do. Be in nature, move in nature, listen to nature, lean into nature, and do these breathing exercises while you are in nature. It is wonderful to engage as many senses while in nature as possible. Smell flowers and herbs. Touch, sit, and walk on moss, highly therapeutic. Notice colors that feel good. Notice something moving, like a bumblebee. Look at the sky and breathe it all in. Listen to the birds. Walk on sand and in water. Hug a tree and let it take all stress and tension from you. Feel its grounding energy. Sit on a flat and safe rock and watch a sunrise or sunset. Paint, free paint, not to capture artistic skills, but just free flow painting with colors. I prefer in this kind of state watercolors, because watercolors are very fluid and they have this beautiful energy of release. And I will share additional visual sources for you for most of these things that you can do in more depth. Swimming, being in water. If it's a cold period of time and you cannot go like outdoor swimming or open water swim, take a bath with salt just to relax. Water is very healing and it takes the pressure off. If it is warm, I recommend either swimming in the outdoor pool or going to and swim in the open water. You can also take a floating device and just float on the water. Other things you can do, you can listen to soft music, or music that makes you feel lighter, that makes you feel coming back home. If something energizing usually helps you get back on track, do that. I find that for us to get back into neutral, we need something more soothing and something more calming and something more nurturing, so that those parts of us that don't feel good, that feel disappointed, that feel afraid, that feel wobbly, they can be nurtured, not pushed down with this with the very loud music or a lot of energizing activities, but they can come down, be nurtured, and the pressure can be released without suppressing that pressure in order to feel good. And more in-depth energy flow activation, similar to the breathing exercise that I shared with you, we actually have a series or a collection of more in-depth energy flow activation that will help you get grounded, that will help you release that pressure, tension, the feeling of being like wobbly, out of center, anxiety, overwhelm. And we also have Bloomtica method, which is a beautiful art-based method that will help you through art release that tension, release that feeling of being off center, and come to your center. Remember, the goal here is to come to neutral. Just be okay, be calm, and stay with this as long as you feel you want to stay here. attending to the parts that are coming up. Again, if disappointment is coming up, or fear is coming up, or anger is coming up, practice these things to release the pressure, release the tension, release the energy of that feeling. And while you are in neutral space, see what is opening up for you. Something is going to open up, something may pop up, either an aha or an opening in your body. You feel like, wow, there's this actually next level version of you. You get a little more clarity on something, or you get an inspiration, or you all of a sudden feel yourself bigger, that you are on track, on your path towards your dreams and goals. Whatever it is you're working on, whether you want to bring some changes into your life, or you're looking for some direction in your career, or there's a project you want to get in, or there's certain business you want to get, if you have a business, let's say a number of clients or a number of projects. So whatever it is you're working on, or if you want to bring more harmony into your relationships, when we are working towards something and nature-based, we are always growing, and we do have this bigger purpose or a goal or a dream that we strive. The growth is always there. And sometimes it is just our goal is to have more peace in our life. That can also be the goal. So when we are striving towards something, some improvement in our life, and we experience these gloomy days can set us off track. And that's why it's important for us to come to neutral and notice what's opening up for you, and then step into that energetically, step into the feeling. And the other thing, go to bed early, have a beautiful night's sleep. Try to fall asleep with the neutral thoughts in the neutral state. And you will notice the next day you wake up and you feel better, you feel lighter, you have some inspiration, you have an aha, and you step into that little opening. If you activated that little opening, you will also feel like you are in that next level version of you. So remember, gloomy days are a part of our experience. The key is not to submit to those gloomy days, but accept them as an opportunity to grow and expand and step into the dreams and the changes and improvements we want to bring into our life experience, even if it is just to have more peace in our life. Let me know how it went for you. If you have any ahas, what came up for you. Would love to hear from you. And also use the link that I will share below the video or in the caption wherever you're watching this video, with the additional resources you can use to help you navigate the gloomy days, the ups and downs, and also navigate your path to bringing your desires and dreams into your life experience. Remember, our inner state, or the level of harmony between our mind, heart, and soul, impacts our interactions, relationships, ideas, solutions, and opportunities. And the more we elevate our inner state, the more we master practicing restoring that harmony and elevating that harmony, the easier it is for us to work with the universal laws and to bring our dreams and desires into our life experience. Have an amazing day. Remember, gloomy days are temporarily, and gloomy days are for us to step into that next level version of ourselves. Have an amazing day. I'll see you soon.